Welcome to This Is the Place, brought to you by We Own This Town, where we discuss the ever-growing and shrinking bar and restaurant scene here in Nashville, Tennessee. My name is Matt. With me today is the We Own This Town proprietor, Michael.
Hello.
How you doing? And also with us today is our friend Paul.
Hey.
How's it going?
Going well.
And not with us today is Mickey. He couldn't make it out, so we did it. We finally made it. I'm not shocked, but I'm a little surprised that we made it to episode 20.
Pat on the back.
Yeah,
for sure.
Very happy about that. So, of course, if you've been keeping up with numbers and whatnot in terms of the podcast, we started out doing a dive bar tour on episode 10, and we said we would do one every 5 episodes, hitting the geographical north, south, east, west locations of Nashville. And here we are at episode 20. So we did the west side. Previously did south side and east side. So we are going to dive right into it. So Paul is with us because he came out with us that night. He is from the west side. Do you want to give us any sort of background on anything west side related? It doesn't have to be the dive bar related. I mean, how long have you lived there? Are you from here?
What is your exact address?
Yes.
Well, I think Michael's tweeted that out before, so that's true. So that's probably out there.
That's true.
But no, I moved to the Nations in end of 2011, and I have always kind of felt a fondness for Charlotte Avenue corridor and the West Side since then. I think there's a lot of stuff that's cool over there, and the East Side gets all the buzz, but I really love it over there, and I've chosen to stay over there because I think there's a lot of potential.
I like it.
There's been a lot of growth since the time you moved there, right? A lot of changes?
I mean, just in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was telling Paul when we were hanging out before I moved back over to the east side 3 years ago, we went and looked over there, and there was a lot of things going on, but I went, going back over there again, it's just really a lot more options in terms of restaurants and things going on.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It's definitely kind of blown up.
So, there's a really good Burger King over there.
I mean, fantastic Burger King. We're getting a Popeyes. I'm pretty excited about that. So,
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, I fully admit, we definitely try to do a fairly good job of trying to represent all of Nashville, but it's hard when, especially you live maybe in certain areas, and really honestly, there's just a lot more restaurants downtown, east side, not many on the west side comparatively. So I'm very happy that we're kind of representing the west side today.
I mean, I think you know what you know. Obviously, my office moved to the east side, so there's stuff over here that I'm discovering that I just didn't know about.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we have a local that can tell us if we like something, maybe we're idiots, or maybe it's valid.
Yeah. So I think it was pretty easy to kind of pick out in the previous dive bar episodes which locations to go to. These were definitely south locations. These were definitely east locations.
Yep. This
time around, there were a couple that we were deciding, should we go to it? Should we not go to it? And I'll just say one that we did not make it out to is Springwater. And some people might be very in disagreement, saying why did you not go there? That should have been the first place you go to.
It's a supper club and lounge.
Yes.
Number one.
Right.
Yeah. We had quite the discussion about, is it a bar? Is it a venue?
Yeah. It's obviously both those things, but it does have a lot of history. A lot of great things have come through there, but we ultimately just decided not to go there because we viewed it more maybe as a music venue.
Yeah, and I think historically maybe it used to be more of a bar, and now and had music, and now it's more like a venue that is also a bar. But the question that we posed, and maybe listeners disagree, is Springwater a place that you go purely as a bar and just hang out? No bands playing. It's not a destination it's just a destination to go be at. And I think we all said no.
Yeah. Even back when I was younger, I really didn't do that. Maybe a couple times I would go be like, there's something going on. Maybe later on I'll just go there.
Yeah, maybe you had a really bad time at Centennial Park.
Right.
And I think in our defense, there was a show there that night.
There was.
With a cover, right?
Yeah. There was. So we're like, yeah, we're not.
In our defense, we refused to pay a cover.
Right. So anyway, so we didn't decide on that one, and then so the first place we went.
Wait a minute, there was another one in the running that you quickly shooed away, which was, Brown's Diner.
Oh, that's right, there was. Because I don't see it as I always would just go there to eat. Burgers.
You just see it as a restaurant.
At a restaurant.
But I do feel
there are
locals.
You're right. There are, when you go there are locals there.
Yeah. I will give you dive for sure. Bar is questionable.
Right. Yeah, without a doubt. I can't remember how long it stays. It doesn't stay open all night though, right? Doesn't it close?
In my mind, it's always open.
Okay, maybe so.
But I think all this just sort of lends to the idea that, like, originally when we started this dive bar tour, we were like, there's 4 segments of town, and then we'll bracket it down.
Sounds easy.
I think we're learning that, like, there's going to be 6 brackets. Like, we're going to have to, like, add more
there's
zones.
There's a little pie somewhere, zone.
Exactly.
Are you saying there's nuance?
There may be nuance to the division of the city. I'm not sure.
Imagine that. So, okay, I think.
But as the proprietor of We Own This Town, I will once again say, if you have opinions on this, get at us at We Own This Town or at This Is The Place, THA, and let us know. We really welcome this kind of insight. So if you disagree with us, that's the best kind of conversation to have.
Definitely. So the first place we went to, and this was just a debate as whether is this a West Side location, is the Villager. And when we first started talking about dive bars, just in the most generalist of terms, not even location, I mean, that was one of the first ones I immediately think of.
Yeah.
Now, is it West Side? Now, maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, I would have said, yeah, it's West Side because of other options not being available, maybe.
Totally.
But now, just I think of it as the Vanderbilt area, which is a weird kind of standalone Hillsborough Village.
I think this is the nuance, maybe, that Paul was speaking.
Yeah,
maybe creeping in.
Yeah, I think so.
Midtown, perhaps.
Right.
But ultimately, I mean, where are we going to put it? We can't have it unless we have some, like you just said, some of these kind of odd geographical locations. It's got to be put somewhere. So
yeah. Someone told me, "Oh, well, that's Hillsborough Village." I was like, "Well, then the conversation around is the Villager the best dive bar in Hillsborough Village?"
Right.
Yes, it is.
Easy. Because it might be the only one.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, I guess Brown's is, I don't know if that's considered, I mean, that's just down the road, but I don't think that's considered.
That's in the Kroger zone, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So, right. So we decided on Villager as definitely being West Side, and we went there first. So a little background on the Villager. It has been around since 1973. So definitely checks that right off the bat as in terms of how old does a place have to be considered a dive bar.
Yep.
It actually was the entrance to the Belcourt Theater.
Interesting.
Back in the day, like 30 years ago or so.
You had to go through the bar to get to the bar?
You had to go. Well, so, I mean, you can just look at this on the website, but it said that the bar place itself opened up in the 30s, and that it was a bar in the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means exactly. And, the Hillsborough Theater has been around since the 20s, and that for a period of time, that's how you got through the theater.
Cool.
Is through the bar. So, which I can get behind that.
Yeah. During Prohibition?
Well, maybe that was...
Because, I mean, that sounds like an incredible story if that's the case.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
That just makes me like the place even more.
Yeah. I mean, and not... This is completely irrelevant, but the first time I went to the Belcourt Theater, they allowed smoking and drinking in there.
Wow. Was this 1965? When were you...
This is mid-90s, and it was in like really bad disrepair. I mean, that was when the Hillsborough Village area was kind of shady. A little bit, and it's come quite a long way since then. But anyway.
That's awesome.
So it's been around for a while. When you go on the website, it says, quote, where the locals go. So there you go. They're inviting definitely locals, and I guess people from out of town too, but it bills itself as the original dart bar in Nashville.
Okay.
I don't know of any other dart bars in Nashville. I'm sure there are.
Well, I mean, there's lots of... I mean, you mean solely darts?
Well, I think, saying, hey, we have dart tournaments.
Okay. What about that place on the east side that is like about to shut down in like a few months?
Edgefield?
Yeah, Edgefield.
Yeah, I mean,
dart tournaments.
Do they? Oh, they might.
I think so,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they have darts. I don't know if
I assume there's tournaments.
formal
you saying-
or
Formal.
okay.
There very well could be.
There's also a pool hall / I think dart bar above Pizza Perfect that might.
You're talking about HQs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been up there in years and years. But anyway.
I love the Villager, but I'm doubting this moniker
I'm
they've
saying
taken on.
It calls itself Nashville's original
Okay.
dive bar.
Yeah.
Fair. Fine.
Not the only one.
Right. Fair.
Original. Okay. So it was added to the National Registry of Historic Places in 1993, but that's because most of the buildings in Hillsborough
Right.
Village were. I think it was kind of like,
That does-
defaulted in.
That doesn't like keep it safe from any future.
Yeah, I don't
nothing.
think so. Yeah.
Just
It
like the building itself is safe from being like
Right.
torn down or
Right.
crazy. Okay.
Right.
You
Right.
might know.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I'm going to go and say that's
And-
why the decor has not changed in years.
Yeah.
It's legally they can't. Go ahead and say that definitively without double checking.
Right. Yeah, I like that. So there are dart leagues. There's Sunday night dart league, Tuesday night dart league, and I think one other night. So most likely you're going to see people playing darts when you go there.
I mean, most of the establishment is devoted to darts.
Yeah, half
Like,
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a few random highlights of what I love of the Villager.
Yeah,
Can
do
I
it.
just tell you some things? I don't know if I'm
Please
cutting
do.
you off.
No, go ahead.
But here's two things that I love about the Villager. One, if it's your birthday, you get a dog bowl
Yeah.
of beer.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. Trashiest thing you could possibly
Yeah, exactly.
And who knows how often that gets cleaned, if ever.
Right.
It definitely doesn't look like it's been in good shape, but it's a fun, trashy thing to do.
Right.
I've been there many years for many friends' birthdays to do such a thing.
Yeah.
And the other thing is they have like a little vending machine with warm nuts in it for like $0.25. Which is
Really?
also gross and weird. But
What do you mean
I love it.
warm
Yeah, where-
nuts?
where-
So like
So is there a
it's like
little-
a gumball dispenser.
Okay.
But it has a heating element in it and a
Okay.
bunch of nuts, so that when you get the nuts out, they're warm.
Wow.
Yeah,
I totally
Nice.
missed that.
Yeah,
I'm
it is
sorry that I did.
tucked away in the corner.
I wonder how often that is used and, new nuts put in.
I have eaten peanuts from there, but how often are those nuts refreshed? I don't know.
They're hot.
They're
Goes
hot.
down quick with the
Yeah,
beer.
I assume the heat kills any germs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's science. I mean,
Does it check out?
yeah. Germs really hate lukewarm things. Yeah.
So anyway, we went there. I guess, do you want to just go through the
Yeah, we did
list?
our scorecard. We actually were good about keeping our criteria, which
Yeah.
we don't do for most other restaurants, but for this whole undertaking of the dive bars, we
Right.
did pretty good.
Yeah. So in terms, the first one that we have is welcoming, and we listed it as a 7 to 8.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a nice sign out
Yeah.
front, and it's in Hillsborough Village.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's about the only place that we went to this night where you could just be walking by and be like, what is that?
Yeah.
And walk in. The other places, you kind of most likely were going there anyway. But I like we used to have signage on here, I think, right?
I think welcoming and signage
Was that the
fall
same thing?
into
Okay.
the same category.
I was about to get upset. I think the sign it's kind of one of this. It's been there for a long time, right? I mean,
It looks like it.
It looks like it's maybe at least been there since the 90s. So I feel like it's very welcoming.
Yeah, go right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're in there,
Boom.
get ready for a blast.
Blast the smoke.
Yeah, definitely.
So smoke we listed it as a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, it's been around since, I guess, the 30s, and they've probably been smoking in there ever since then.
The walls are all literally yellow.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
not painted that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So.
no, not at all. So we, did try to compare it to the level at turn 1 that we went to last time.
Mm-hmm.
And at the Villager, my eyes were not burning like
Right.
they were at turn 1.
Right. It wasn't 10 level.
I'm sure there is some sort of ventilation system, which helps a little bit, but it's pretty smoky.
Right.
So take that as you will when considering whether to go there.
Yeah.
Lighting.
Fine.
I mean,
Well-
it felt perfect. Like it was not too dark, not too bright. I mean, there was brighter back in the dart area.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what you would want.
Right.
But in that main bar area, it is the perfect level of seedy, dingy, and I mean that in the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Yeah. Decor.
Gave it a 10. We went 10.
Easy. I think it's easy 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the old photographs on the wall, which is great.
Yeah. If you've not been in there, the entire place is plastered, floor to ceiling, maybe even ceiling, in photos of people who have been there, like either for a party or just drinking regularly or whatever. Like it's shellacked on the wall and yellow. So that's a nice touch.
It's great. And then you got your standard bar kind of posters, your Miller Lite poster that is now yellow, your other local type of posters. One thing that we did point out was on the ceiling is a T-shirt that is pinned up, and it is very dusty,
as it should be.
But it is a T-shirt of The Rage, which if you've been in Nashville for a period of time, you know. Well, I don't know when did it close down? 2010, maybe. 2009. I don't know. The Rage was a weekly, or was it a daily? Weekly.
I think it was at least a weekly.
Yeah. Weekly entertainment newspaper. And it was great, I guess. I mean, it was fine.
It was fine.
But to have that T-shirt up is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a real piece of Nashville history.
Yeah. It is. So, it's very easy to give it a 10. All right, the next one is Take a Date.
Did not score very well on Take a Date.
Yes.
Seeing that we rated it a 4 almost make me wonder, what were we thinking? Like, how did it get that high?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
upon recollection.
I have gone there on dates. Like after a movie, go to the Villager. After a meal somewhere in the village.
I think it just all stems back to the smoke level.
Right.
Would I go there with my wife if it was non-smoking just to have a beer after we went and saw a movie? I would, but she would not go in there because of the smoke level.
Same here.
Yeah.
So you think 4 is too gracious?
I mean, I would not take anyone there to impress them. And that's what I'm thinking about the place.
If it's a first date, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably shouldn't go there.
It is as a center of convenience, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it all depends on what kind of date you're going on.
Yeah.
Which I don't know that we've ever fully clarified that in our criteria here.
That's okay. Don't clarify that. Leave that as ambiguous as possible.
Right. I fully agree. And music. They have a good jukebox.
Yeah.
A great jukebox.
This was the only place of the night that had a jukebox?
I think
if
so.
I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention. I think we just judged the music that was playing at the other places, and the music that was playing here got it a 7. So.
Well, that was the thing. There was no music,
because there was a hockey game going on the TVs, and so there was 0. So it's kind of hard to say exactly, but we do know that they have a nice jukebox. So even though there was technically no music playing, I'm confident in the 7 that we gave it. And finally, food/payment.
I mean,
couple things.
My thing is with the payment. That's my thing that I get stuck on the most. They take your card and they keep it behind the bar.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
So very low marks there. I gave them a 3.
Yeah.
If you all want to discuss food, I are happy to.
So I know that you seemed disgusted by the crock pot.
And,
I personally, the Villager is fine. I'm not as enamored with it, I think, as everyone else was. But mystery crock pot is always points for me.
Oh.
I love to think that they have a special recipe that they put in there that just involves like 2 cans of chili that they dump in, and they call that a recipe.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And it sits there for days.
Yeah.
Again, barely warmer than the warm nuts.
Yeah. If that.
And I love that. Do I want to eat it? Absolutely not. But the fact that it's an option.
I mean, I guess I have to give them points for offering something that's a little atypical. Yeah. But I just cannot imagine saddling up to the bar and getting a dog bowl of beer and then a bowl of some mystery.
Some sort of crock pot mystery.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, the idea behind it, I love it, but the execution and who's going to follow through on that in terms of eating it, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, maybe that's your date. Maybe that's the date.
Yeah.
You take the date. All right. That's probably plenty for our review of The Villager.
Yeah.
And next destination was brand new to me and way more of a legitimate West Side destination, I think. Mm-hmm. So we went to a place called the Centennial, of which I know nothing about. I didn't even know where it was when we headed that way. Do you have any background info on it?
So it's been around, maybe Paul knows more than I do, about 4 or 5 years. It was, I think, an auto repair shop prior to that, and they love Patrick Swayze. that's about all I have in terms of history. Can you add to that?
No, I can't really. I mean, yeah.
So it kind of barely qualifies in terms of age for a dive bar, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Agreed.
the next couple places I think I would refer to as neighborhood bars.
And I mean, the Centennial is kind of my neighborhood bar. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm going to meet someone for a drink in my neighborhood, that's probably where I'm headed. So, in terms of neighborhood versus dive bar, again, we can get into the subtlety and semantics,
Right.
but it nails it on the head for me as a neighborhood bar.
And why so?
I mean, I like the vibe in there. It's not pretentious. It's just, it is the perfect place to go in and have a drink or two, nothing fancy. And, you'll see lots of people in there that all know each other, which somehow just, obviously there's locals, but it's all people around my age.
Right.
I don't want to say older, but, you're looking at mid-30s and up. Again, in terms of like a neighborhood bar, it nails everything I would associate it with that.
Yeah, I mean, for my first time there, I would totally agree with all that. I
Yeah.
get that same vibe. It was comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know why they have a somewhat nautical theme? Octopuses on, boats. I saw that a couple different.
Yeah, the Kraken on the wall
Kraken, yeah.
it almost would make more sense if it was like a holdover from what it was before.
Right.
But hearing that it was an auto body shop
Yeah.
tells me that's not the case. So,
Or it was the best auto body shop you can imagine.
Something like that. Yeah. So they have an inside, obviously, and an outside where we can. Well, I guess we can just go and go.
Well,
through
where
this
is
quicker.
it? We should tell people how to get there.
Do you know?
so
that? I don't know the
basically,
address, but
51st and Centennial. It's kind of right at that corner.
Okay.
you make that left, and then it's right there.
Yeah.
On your left.
Yeah.
You'll see Patrick Swayze looking at you.
Yeah. He's right there.
You'll see the Point Break
It's
mural.
a pretty unassuming building, I think. It's
Yeah.
not too flashy on the outside, which gets right into the first criteria of welcoming.
Yeah.
We gave it a 7 or 8. I have almost no memory of what it looked like now from the outside, except like low-lying cinder block building. Is
Yeah,
that right?
I think that's
exactly what it is. Yeah. It's white cinder block. So
But it had a cool sign, right?
yeah, it has kind of like the kind of like a baseball fonty looking logo, and yeah, it looks cool. I thought it was well lit. Didn't look shady at all.
Yeah. Had a parking lot.
Yeah. Able to get a nice little parking spot right at the front.
Yeah, right up front. And then we go into lighting in the place, which I thought was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. They had Pizza Hut like lighting fixtures, that kind of made me laugh.
Yeah.
Combined with the wood paneling on the walls. Just
Hey,
felt-
yeah, we were trying to
Yeah.
debate like, did they put this in there?
All right. I think they did.
I think they did too.
The outside little porch area was fine. It
Yeah.
was like kind of gross the night we were there.
Yeah, it was
so-
rainy, so it's kind of hard to tell whether it was just. I was like, this seems kind of thrown together a little bit and grungy.
Right.
Yeah.
But it may have been because of the weather.
Right.
I don't know. Have you been out there on a like April day, sunny day? And is it
No,
nice,
I mean,
or-
I know there's darts out there, and usually it's kind of more the smoker's lounge.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
as a non-smoker, not spending a lot of time out there.
Yeah,
Fair.
sure.
Speaking of which, smoke. It's a 0 because there's no smoking inside.
Yep.
So that's a big plus.
Yep. Decor.
Why are we ranking this so low? Because of the giant Kraken? We gave it a 4.
No.
Yeah.
Our memories are betraying us.
I feel like the thing was that we just weren't impressed. I mean, obviously the fact that we're having troubles recalling details of the interior was just like, it's there.
Yeah.
Nothing stood out other than the Kraken.
Yeah, the Swayze thing too. Like they got a lot of Patrick Swayze, and I'm not clear on why.
Right.
Yeah.
Nor do I
guess
have,
there doesn't
like-
have to be a good reason other than like the owner loves Patrick
Right.
Swayze.
Patrick
I guess.
Swayze, famously 100 years old. So,
I mean, I don't have a particular affinity for Patrick Swayze, so maybe that's my personal insight sort of influencing that feeling. Just
Right.
like, oh, he's fine.
yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you take a date here?
Yep.
Yes. We're saying a 7, but I believe Paul's note was you would end up here with a date. You would not start here.
I mean, again, it goes back to when I think date as someone who has not gone on a early date in a decade and a half.
Right.
I want somewhere that I'm going to impress the person with. And Centennial is probably not going to impress a date, but I think it would be a great place to end up, after you've already had dinner.
Right.
Maybe you're over at Hawthorne or something having a nice dinner and you're not ready to end the evening and you'd like to continue it a little longer, but you're not interested in cocktails.
But what if you want to set the bar much lower for the relationship that you're starting?
Then, yeah, I mean, this might fit the bill.
Okay. So
Yeah.
again,
No, I
it
agree.
depends on the kind of date. Like you having been married for a long time, maybe you guys would go here on a date as a starting point. But as a first date, maybe not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Cool. Music, we gave it a 6, and we asterisked it with nice background music.
I remember, I mean, it was all like, I think Gorillaz played and Phoenix. It was all stuff that I'm not going to object to, but it was not particularly loud. So we also ignored it.
Yeah, nothing offensive, which is that's a lot of points if you're not playing bad music.
Right. Yeah, totally.
But no
Believe me,
no
yes.
jukebox. So you're at the whims of, I guess,
The mercy of somebody's
you
Spotify playlist, if that's what they want to do, or
Right.
the bartender chooses. I don't know.
But still, positive marks.
Yeah.
And then food and payment. You all ate here.
I did,
Yeah.
yes. And so we gave it a 6, and I had their wings. And so I told Paul to order the wings. And I can't remember if I specified. I think I just said.
You did. So you said you wanted buffalo wings. And,
Okay.
And when the bartender came by to ask, if we wanted food, we started to order buffalo wings, and we quickly got persuaded. Right. To
not shut down.
to upgrade to the Centennial wings.
Okay.
And so, ordering from someone else, I felt totally free to just, sure, why not?
So I came back, I think, from the bathroom, and they said, we ordered the Centennial wings. I was like, okay, that sounds fine. I was totally okay with that. And so the Centennial wings are their own take on wings, and it's I guess a spicy, tangy sauce is kind of what the deal is.
We were told that they won some award for best wings, but I'll be honest, even at the time, I'm not even sure if he said what the award was or who gave it out. It may just have been the Centennial Bar Award for wings.
Right.
So
could have been the local.
Well, how were they?
They were good. They were good. I enjoyed them. They weren't like fried. There was just the way they cooked them. I guess they just put the sauce on after they were cooked. Not too hot, not too tangy, but just good. Yeah,
great.
Good meat. Yeah. I mean, not like the best wings in the world, but definitely like better than
and not enough to like you would go back and eat there again. Like it hasn't deterred you from. So that's
no, not at all.
No.
And speaking of that, so there's an asterisk, and because it has as an option cauliflower tacos.
Yeah, which we did not get.
Yeah, we didn't get.
I'm very intrigued by it.
But I've had it in the past. So, and I mean, they're good.
Yeah.
But I knew as soon as I recommended a place for a dive bar crawl, for lack of a better word, with cauliflower tacos, that it would deservedly get some pushback.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now we have categorized this as the neighborhood bar, it's clear.
Yeah.
If this place exists in 50 years and it's serving cauliflower tacos, no, thank you.
Right. They also, just for some more information on food, they do have Taco Tuesday from 5 to 10:30, $2 tacos, 250 Tecate cans, and 350 tequila.
Dang.
I mean, I feel like Tecate should be 250 anyway, but I don't know.
I mean, that's fine. That's a great deal. That's a great deal.
Yeah, so they have Taco Tuesday.
Maybe that is their regular price, and they're just marketing it.
It might be. It might be. They also have happy hour from 3 to 7. And that's half off on well drinks and I think some select beer.
Cool. I'm into this place. I'm kind of looking forward to going back and taking other people there and like introducing them to it.
And then going to White Bison afterwards for coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably go there first.
Sure. I don't. As far as payment goes, I
don't remember what happened. Did they keep your card?
They did not keep the card.
Then they win.
Okay.
So if you don't keep my card, you are in the clear.
All right, great. So overall, takeaway for Centennial was it was good. We liked it. Not a dive bar really, but I would go back there.
I can't see it turning into a dive bar though. With enough time, and enough neglect, it could get there.
Yeah. If they just kept on trucking, for another 10 years, I think it would be there.
Absolutely.
Right on. Yeah. Okay, so the next place we went to was The Nations.
Yeah, and not the neighborhood, but a bar called The Nations.
So, Paul, why don't you give me a little what you know about it?
Yeah, so The Nations, and I think it's The Nations Bar and Grill, if I'm not mistaken. But it opened up probably a couple of years after the Centennial. It is sort of right across the street from what used to be the Stone Fox, and then subsequently the House, and now currently Red Bicycle. Mm-hmm. Again, unassuming building, white brick. It was formerly some sort of semi-industrial kind of space.
Now, I need to correct myself because The Nations was the one that was an auto repair shop previously. The Centennial may not have been.
Okay.
I just was looking at my notes and realized
So the
that,
Centennial was a boat shop, clearly.
and maybe
because of the crack.
it was
Right.
it was a boat shop. So that's what it was. Yeah.
What I didn't know, I guess, and I guess there's a connection to the gold rush
Yes.
with the Nations.
I have never Googled this. I have never looked up the specifics of this, but I am told that the people that ran the gold rush previously kind of were either forced out or left or something. There was a split of some sort, and then they opened the Nations. And I don't know, I just decided to believe all that and never questioned it or looked it up because it felt like,
Yeah.
gold.
Sure.
Why wouldn't that happen?
Right.
So
Yeah, when you go up to it, I think the parking is in the back, and
it's kind of all around. There's like a
wraparound.
Yeah,
I couldn't
decent
tell.
amount of parking.
Again, it was
Yeah.
rainy and dark, and that was the third place we were going to. So, but they do have a nice size patio area. Almost bigger than the inside, I would say. If you're counting the where you walk in, and then the left hand side of the patio,
It's big.
It's pretty big. It looked like there was a TV out there on the left hand patio.
Yep.
I thought it was. I really like this place because you had two different bars. One bar on the outside where it looked like you could watch sports games or whatever, and then when you walked to the other side, there was that other porch area, which also had some seating to the bar that was inside. There was like a little window where there were like 3-4 seats. And then there's the inside where you have a nice wraparound inside bar. And I think there's a TV in there as well. So there's lots of options in terms of like what you want to do. Do you want to just like hang out in the back, like go inside and go down the hallway and kind of be at a table alone? Do you want to sit at a table on the porch? Do you want to be out front looking at some sports game? Yeah, I thought it was cool. I really liked it a lot.
I agree. I felt very similarly. I'm particularly like the idea of going there in the summer because they do have so much outdoor space.
Yeah, which they've been slowly adding that outdoor space since they originally opened. Because I think originally they had just a open air patio, and then they covered it, and then I think they built the one on the back.
Okay.
And kind of kept expanding it, and I was impressed because I had not been in there since they've added all that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's go through the list. So for the Nations, welcoming.
Gave it an 8.
Yeah. Now the signage looks awesome. Like it looks like, oh, this is a sign from the 30s, but they just made it look that way.
Yeah.
That sign was there.
Oh, it was?
It did. I don't think it said the Nations, but the bubble with the arrow.
Okay.
That sign was there when I moved into the neighborhood.
Oh,
and whatever that was.
It was called
space
whatever
before.
auto shop or whatever. Okay.
And since then, the neighborhood's actually kind of adopted that as like a neighborhood symbol.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, definitely points there.
Yeah. The only thing that I question about it is it says the Nations and it says established 1913, which kind of makes me think that like that bar was established in 1913, but clearly that is not the case. But
there's some co-opting either by the bar of the neighborhood,
right?
But then maybe the neighborhood's co-opting the sign back. So there's kind of some.
Are there laws about what you can say about your establishment on a sign? Like established 1700.
Probably not.
Been here for centuries.
Yeah.
You know?
There might be a height limit, but I don't think there's any definitive law on what you can and can't put on a sign. I don't know. Based on
I think
Kid Rock sign, you can get away with anything, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Double butts.
Yeah, love it.
We gave that an 8, and we marked the lighting as pretty well too, a 7. So far, we've just been 7s across the board for everywhere we've been. Again, very similar to Centennial and Villager, just like pleasant lighting, not too bright, not too dark.
Yeah,
it's just good. Smoke. We went with a 5. You guys want to give some context on that?
Well, I think it was the mixed bag because the inside was non-smoking, but you've got so much outdoor space that is smoking. So you kind of had some options. And since it's outside, it's not oppressive, if someone's smoking nearby.
Yeah. But you might be smelling some smoke because if you want to sit outside.
Yeah, it's interesting because Centennial also has the outdoor smoking area, but the outdoor area at Centennial is not like as welcoming as Nations is. Nations is like, come sit. We sat outside and ate. So like it is much more likely that you're going to be around smoke if you go to the Nations and hang out outside. Decor, 5.
I honestly don't remember much about the decor.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think it was just it is what it is. There wasn't really.
I would say maybe a 3 now.
Wow, because you've forgotten everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the outside sign is cool, and then the inside I feel like was just like bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a bar.
Yeah.
So, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah. That's all right. But
we gave it a 5.
Nothing just stands out.
I do remember the signs on the bathroom. where like it was like man, woman, alien, whatever.
Yeah. You don't need lines for single-seated bathrooms.
No, you don't. No. So music, 5 with an asterisk.
The asterisk is nonsense.
Was this Gold Rush?
So I wrote, this is the third place of the night, and I wrote Gold Rush and then a word that I cannot read. So
I have no idea what that says.
I think music, like, I couldn't begin to tell you what I was thinking when I wrote that.
Gotcha.
I don't remember the music. I think we all felt like as a 5, it was just sort of,
Yeah.
I remember not being offended by the music, and it was not really necessarily loud enough to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give it a 4.
We skipped Take a Date. Will we take a date here?
5.5. So why do you have Centennial as 7? I guess maybe this is Paul really like Centennial over the Nations for a date.
Yeah, that might have been it. I mean, I'll be honest, because like I have been to the Centennial a number of times and always enjoyed it. The first time I went to the Nations, I was incredibly unimpressed.
Yeah.
And, probably carried a little chip on my shoulder since then.
Gotcha.
Well, also, the first time I went to the Nations, which, it's not an old bar. It's still
Couple years.
Years old. There was a placard on the table listing all their shots that they offered, which to me is already a sign of like, okay, you're pushing shots at the table. It's like the big thing. And they were all like vaguely offensive, immature names. Like if my memory serves me correctly, it would be like the Monkey Ball Shocker. And you're like,
my God, really?
That's not.
But that's not there anymore, right?
We didn't see it.
We didn't see it. And that's not, I like the Nations. I'm going to give a very favorable review of this place.
Yeah.
But that particular thing to me was like, if I went there on a date, particularly a first date, and there it's like, you want to get shots? You know, you want to get the buttery nipple?
Right.
Like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't even want to be in a place where like that's
being
really
served.
being pushed on me.
See, that's where we differ, because I order every date a buttery nipple right off, and then followed up with a slutty redhead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
I'm sex on the beach kind of guy.
We've all got our thing.
I get that 5.5 for that reason.
Yeah.
But I would go there with my wife.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. I mean, I've been there on dates, so obviously it's fine.
Food payment. So we all ate there, right?
There was food at the table for sure. I had a full meal. I don't know. You ordered some interesting.
I ordered fried funnel cake.
Yeah.
Fries.
Right.
And
say that again so everyone makes sure they understand.
Fried funnel cake fries.
Okay.
And so it is what exactly it sounds like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's French fries that have that like really, really, really crisp fried taste that funnel cakes have with powder on them and also salt.
And like a dip of chocolate.
A huge, unnecessarily huge ramekin of chocolate.
Yeah.
A good 4 ounces of what looked like chocolate frosting.
Yeah. No need. I mean, I used 196 of that.
Yeah. Pretty tasty though.
It was tasty. Yeah. It's with the chocolate. And me personally, I know this might be weird to people, but I enjoy like beer with chocolate, and like the Germans do, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, is there such thing as a
some people
chocolate
think it's
stout?
disgusting. Yeah. But anyway, I thought it was great. I enjoyed that. What did you have?
Yeah, I had a veggie burger and fries, just a very standard bar fare. Obviously, veggie burger, probably not what most would order, but so I can't judge them on their legit full burger. But I mean, it was good. It was fine.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't disappointed. Like, oh, this is a Boca burger that's just been microwaved.
Right.
I
can't remember what John had. I know he ate something.
I want to say he had fries and like a tomato cucumber salad. Does that sound right?
Which is very weird. He'll never hear this, and that is weird that he got that.
Okay. It was very watery. I remember looking over it. I thought it was a fruit salad.
At least they're offering it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it actually feels like a place you can go for lunch. Like,
if you're vegetarian, you can go there.
Vegetarian, you could go there.
problem.
Yeah. If you're into like a giant miniature bucket of chocolate frosting, they got you covered.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
That's right. So we gave it a 6, which I think is appropriate.
yeah. And
Uh,
because we sat, I don't know if they kept your card or not. I really don't remember. So I can't.
I know they gave it back to me.
All right, might be a 7 then.
Yeah.
give it-
We'll bump it up to 7. So overall, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back
like
again.
I said, I went in with low expectations and was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear that you went there early on when it opened and had, kind of got this chip on your shoulder about like not loving it, and now maybe you've had a better impression. So maybe it's improving.
Yeah, I'm ready to go back. Before I would not have gone back on my own.
Right.
But now I'm ready to give it another shot.
I'm glad
So
we
good.
could drag you to a place.
So the last place we went to for the evening was Betty's. And do you want to talk about Betty's?
So I don't know a ton of history of Betty's. You might have more written down. I know it's pretty old. It is oddly known as being a bar and experimental music venue. It is primarily a bar. It is a destination, but they also have bands play there, often from a genre.
It's not necessarily like every weekend, but fairly often.
Yeah. And it's a small place that has a little corner where a band can set up.
And I think they probably started having bands play like, 6-7 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like,
they
haven't been doing it for 15, 20 years.
Right. But some interesting acts come through there, and it's always something that you're like, really? This is a bizarre pairing for this place.
So I think it was kind of a diner. It's been around for a long time, and it was just a diner for a long time. A bar/diner. Get good burger and fries.
I would say it's similar to Brown's in that way.
Yeah.
I think it's
very
also
much
in an old trailer or trolley car, something like that.
There's something about the building that makes you pause for a moment.
Yeah,
but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, because there is some part brick and mortar part to it, and then some not on that side.
Yeah,
so
the little smoke deck.
Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly, but it's interesting.
It's a weird place.
Yeah.
From the outside.
Yeah. So let's just get right into the.
Sure.
Or did you want to say something else about it?
No, it goes right into this. Welcoming. We gave it a 2.
You have to know exactly where it is. It's kind of like right off Charlotte.
If you know where, what is it? Cool Stuff, Funky Things. It's like an antique store with like this Elvis that's out front every day.
Or more updated, if you know where Hugh Babies is.
Also, okay, sure.
That's right.
Maybe a better.
Which we talked about
point.
on an earlier episode.
Yeah, around the corner from Hugh Babies, down at the end of the street. I don't know if it even has a sign.
It has a sign.
There's like painted on it is a sign. That night was my first time in there,
yeah.
and I've only seen it in the daylight, and it was like, clearly that's not a place for me.
Yeah, I mean, welcoming not so much, but people love it.
Yeah, it's a place where you have to know what it is when you're going in.
Right.
If you were just walking around that area, unlike the Villager, you would not think to stop
and it's
in there.
It's very much maybe a different place at 5 in the evening if you want to grab something to eat versus 10:30 at night.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if there is a built-in local crowd beyond the music.
We were there too late to see that. I think that probably exists in like late afternoon.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. So I mean, not the most welcoming place, but that's all right. Maybe they want it that way.
Yeah, I mean, in the indoors, I just this isn't a reflection of my overall feelings of the place, but it has an odd vibe in there. Mm-hmm. Like the way it's laid out, the bar is like right in front of you when you walk in the door, and there's seating to the right with the bathrooms, and there's seating to the left, and then like a smoking porch to the left, and everything feels pretty run down. Like it's got that dive bar vibe.
Compact and run down.
Yeah.
We're definitely back out of neighborhood bars into dive bars again.
Yeah. Oh, very quick.
Solid.
Yeah, without a doubt. So lighting.
Gave it a 10 because it was dark.
Yeah.
And for a dive bar,
but it's very appropriate.
Yeah.
Most of the lighting seemed to be coming from the Star Trek pinball machine.
Yeah.
or Gunsmoke, or was it Bonanza on the TV?
Yeah, the Bonanza TV. On the TV.
Very, very much like the real lights in the room, not doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
It was everything else.
But it was appropriate. Again.
Yeah. We gave it a 5 on smoke because, again, it does have a smoking porch. So if you wanted to go outside, you're going to be around.
I think it used to be smoking.
I was going to say, I think until very recently it was smoking.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
But I didn't get the impression that it felt that way inside. I didn't feel like it still felt stuffy or like had that linger.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
It didn't have the nicotine baked into the walls.
Yeah. I mean, it has that vibe visually that's baked into the walls, but I didn't feel it just like that stiffness in the air.
Yeah. So decor, 8 to 9.
Yeah, very high.
Which I agree with. Now that we're back in dive bar territory, it very much had that dive bar-y decor.
I mean, again, like surprisingly newish pinball machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mixed with like early 90s Budweiser posters.
I believe there's a giant leopard painting in the bathroom.
I was about to say that. Yeah, I mean, that was fantastic.
That was amazing. It's a real treat.
Yeah. It really stared at you while you're using the restroom.
And I was a fan. Yes, I kind of like the decor in there. Like, I don't know how it's... So we gave the Villager a 10, but Betty's is real close.
It's real close.
Yeah.
Well, we said 8/9. I mean, you could say 9.5.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Well, let's skip music for a second. Let's go to food payment. I did not.
We didn't do take a date.
Oh, we did.
You love skip and take a date.
Oh, I did. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Take a date.
Yeah. We gave it a 4 or a 5. Again.
Again, feels high.
Your asterisk is eesh.
Yeah. I think based on what we've discussed through this episode, 4 or 5 probably is too high.
I'm just saying, imagine pulling up to Betty's on a date. You've been 2 other places, and you take this person up to Betty's, thinking how we rated it as a 2 for welcoming. Right. You say, I want to go here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it depends on the kind of person you are.
Yeah.
Like you're saying you want to go on, if it's a first date and you want to go on a date with someone to impress them.
I'm going to say first 6 dates. That's what I'm thinking here.
Unless you're going to a show specifically.
Right.
Just a random dinner. Probably not.
Yeah.
All right. I'll concede on this, but I don't know. I think it's a cool place.
It is a cool place.
I enjoy
2 different things
that I would want to share with the person I'm on a date with. I don't know.
I got you.
All right. So food payment, we're giving an NA because we did not eat, and I think
we paid cash.
Hopefully somebody paid for my beer.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely paid for some beers, but I don't remember if I used a card or not. Again, 4th place in the night.
I think we were all cash at that point.
Yeah. So I guess we should at least give it more than NA on payment. Payment was fine.
I mean, because last time we did a dive bar tour, I think half the places were cash only.
Right.
And none of these places were this time.
Yeah. Yeah. On food, I mean, I saw a deep fryer and I think a flat top.
Yeah.
So
it's a grill.
Yeah.
We'll
have to go back.
Yeah. And so music. When we got out of our lift, we heard this throbbing, pounding sound and said, I don't think that's a jukebox.
Nope.
Somebody's playing music.
Yeah.
And we walked up and we're like, all right, well, we already determined. Thankfully, there was not a cover charge, because if there would have been, we would have probably not gone in.
Right.
But there was not. So we just walked in, and there was a guy who was pounding some drums and had some keyboards and synth and had a projector.
Yeah, I mean, he had an amazing setup. Like
it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
One individual behind a lot of gear.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was very experimental. It was very much in the noise genre, but not too oppressive or abrasive. It was still had this.
Some of it was a little abrasive.
Yeah, but I mean, it still had.
But I liked it. I mean,
it had a melodic element to it at times.
I feel like you also really got to set the scene. I mean, the guy himself, kind of. Not to like shame him or anything, but it's kind of starting to bald. But also had like that balding guy ponytail.
Yeah.
Wearing like a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
Little, not heavier set, but like bigger guy.
Yeah.
He's pounding away at drums that are like triggering all these synths.
Yeah.
The room's probably filled with 20-year-olds that look like they've just copped everything from Reality Bites in terms of fashion.
Right.
Just hard 90s style.
Which is the style now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so walking into this dive bar that I'm still maintaining is in a trolley. And seeing that was,
with the video images that were, some of it was triggered with the drums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was impressive. I was like, wow, I did not expect this to end up the night by watching this.
It was by far the coolest thing we did.
Without a doubt.
We stumbled into a very cool scene.
Yeah, totally. Should we say what his name was?
Oh, yeah. His name is, so the artist's name is blank. When it's typed out on the internet, you'll see it B pipe _.
Is that what that is? A pipe?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's one of those things.
It's not easy to find, because I had to text you like, who was that guy? Because I was trying to find it the other day.
Yeah, it's ungoogleable for sure. But I think it's blankasfuck.bandcamp.com has all his stuff. He does a bunch of cool like short run vinyl releases and cassettes.
He did something with Stevie R. Moore.
Yeah, he does cool stuff. I mean, it is again like experimental, abrasive noise music.
I will say, like, I listened to, like he said, the last song of the night when we were there was a song called Fentanyl, and it was just like maybe a 5-minute thing where he was doing his thing with his drums and some synths. I'll listen to it. It's 15 minutes of drone on his Bandcamp. I mean, it was bold. I mean, it was like there was no drums in it. There was nothing. I was just like, it was this drone synth kind of like.
Right.
I was like, that's for 15 minutes. And I listened because like, when are the drums coming in? Here they come.
All right.
3 minutes later. They're going to come sometime. Anyway, so that's...
See, the live version switches it up, man.
Yeah. No, I like the live version. Definitely. So in terms of music, we can't speak to what... I think there is a jukebox here, right?
Couldn't say.
Not?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Okay, but maybe not.
But yeah, I think we all had a pleasant experience there with the music.
Yeah, I like the music.
Yeah. So if you go there and a band is set up, unlike most places in Nashville, stay and see what's going to happen, because it might be pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. So that was definitely a kind of a great way to end the night. It's a little different from how we started out and where we were in between. So
yeah, but now we come to the very difficult task of deciding of these who wins.
Okay. Well, I think since, we had gone back and forth after the first episode, maybe of should we change it to calling it a neighborhood bar tour or a dive bar tour? And I think we decided we need to stick with dive bar tour. Mm-hmm. And I think we still need to stick with who wins the dive bar.
So you're saying Centennial and Nations, not even in the running.
Not even in
neighborhood bars.
Because those are neighborhood bars. Nations, I can't wait to go back to.
Right.
It was a highlight for me, definitely for the night, because I really enjoyed hanging out there on the porch.
I mean, I'm going to get those cauliflower tacos at Centennial.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So that takes it down to just the Villager Betty's.
Yeah. Paul, do you have a decision? Can you pick?
I mean, and that's my opinion. I mean, you guys can pick whatever you want. You can choose whatever you want.
I mean, I feel like I have to bow out because I haven't been to all the other winners.
Uh-huh.
So there's...
Well, this is just this episode.
Oh, yes, you can.
But I mean...
I've never known you to shy away from an opinion.
Well, I mean, that's absolutely true. Yeah. I, as a white landowning male, I feel entitled to my opinions. I do not have the fondness for the Villager that I think a lot of other people have.
Sure.
But I would see myself more likely going back to the Villager. So for that reason, I think I would rate the Villager up there. It's a tough choice. I mean, I enjoyed all 4 bars. Mm-hmm. I think you can really split it between neighborhood bars and dive bars. Yeah. We maybe didn't see Betty's in its total dive bar element. It was a little more of a venue that night.
Yep.
Also, I mean, Villager has, I think Betty's only had like 2 beers on tap, and it was like Yazoo, which was out, and Bud Light.
Yeah.
I assume they had liquor, but I didn't see any, so maybe that assumption's wrong.
I don't know.
So from that standpoint, if I'm going to be hanging out in one of these places, I'm probably going to go to Villager because I know I can get a couple different things on tap.
Yep.
And actually Betty's is closer to my house, but
sure.
There's more stuff around in the immediate vicinity of Villager. So from that standpoint, it's going to be Villager wins with an asterisk kind of thing.
All right. That's fine. There's nuance.
It's nuance.
Yeah. Matt, do you have a selection?
I think for me, it's the Villager.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of similar reasons what Paul said, but I mean, it's a hard choice. I mean, I really liked Betty's, but I think I need to revisit maybe on a different day when there isn't a performance and maybe have a burger, see what's going on.
Yeah.
See if there is a little more local clientele that's been there for a long time.
Whoa. Wow. Got a real upsetting horn there.
That train conductor does not agree.
It's not. But it's close. I'm not just saying, Villager, no questions asked.
Right.
I mean, very, very close. I liked something about all the places a lot. But overall, there can only be one.
There can only be one. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to pick. It's very hard to pick. I agree with everything you all have said. I, too, am picking the Villager.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. It's really hard for me to shy away from Betty's because I think from our dive bar criteria, it really, it has a 2 of welcoming and a 10 of lighting.
Right.
And I think about what we judged Fran's by.
Yeah.
And Fran's is pretty unwelcoming and very weird inside, and it won our hearts immediately. And we had a similar crazy experience.
So did Tin Dog Tavern, I guess.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm maybe deviating from the norm, but I feel like much like what Paul said, I'm much likely to go back to the Villager. I feel comfortable there. I really like the vibe in there. I don't care about darts at all, but I don't know. I think maybe my personal experience with the place is influencing it rather than just taking it for this particular experience.
Right.
So, that is not to say Betty's is a bad place. It does not make it a loser. It just means that I'm going to pick the Villager.
Sure. Yeah. I agree. All right. So, Paul, do you know of any dive bars on the north side of town? Because we need some help.
Yeah.
I don't, but I'm really curious. I feel like, on Jefferson Ave, there's got to be some cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Well,
we just don't know where it
Mickey
is.
probably knows. I mean, he's born and raised here.
I get the
been all
feeling he
over
doesn't
town.
care for dive bars. I mean,
Yeah, I know. We're gonna have to wrangle him.
Well,
for
I
the
mean,
north side.
I'll say, I think it was after the, East Side dive bar crawl. I think I contacted you guys like, hey, I want in on the West Side crawl because I live on the West Side and it was awesome. So I think encouraging anyone listening who knows of any bars on the North Side, definitely reach out. And
that would be great.
This is the place.
Yeah,
on the things.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. So thanks for coming in, Paul. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Michael, as always.
Thank you.
And remember, eat up, drink up, and if anybody asks, this is the place to be. We'll see you.
Thanks. I'm going to pause for a second. We can cut this. This cat is going nuts trying to get in here, and I don't know what to do about it.
Would it be better if she comes in?
It might be, but she's still not going to be quiet.